This is what I fought for. This is what I slept in the mud for. This is what I suffered day in and night for. Did you ever try to sleep when it's below zero in the ground? It's for you all. It's your country. You're the makers of it. I believe in you. I believe in you with all my heart. I believe you'll make it a better country. And I'm going to be praying for you the rest of my life, what I have, each one of you. I come up hard. I come up in the Depression days, in the Great Depression, when people didn't have food to eat. My mother was a widow woman. I had to work or do anything I could do to help her. I hunted. That's why I was a crack shot. That's why you see in there I was an expert shot. I could hunt. I could fish. I could do things like to feed my mom and help my mom. I come up in a hard knock, hard way. And Lord knows I've made it this far. And you can too. Don't never let down. Hold your head high. I'm thankful for you. I want you to know that. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them if I can, if you don't ask me to write the wrong ones. Sometimes they'll ask you, how many guys did you shoot? How many guys did you kill? I said, you know, us soldiers never talked about that. When we got in battle, after we got out of battle, and tried to settle ourselves down with you in the ride home, we never discussed ourselves anything like that. That's in the past. I done what I had to do to live. When you're put out there, I've had people ask me this. They say, how in the world could you get on a boat and put you out in front of something? How could you do that? I say, heck, what else you do? They put you on there. If you don't, they'll kick your butt in there. You either fight or you die. You have no choice. You're gone. If they put you in a plane, you got to jump out. If you don't jump, they'll kick you out. So think about that sometime. But if you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them. If I can, I'll probably have to get him to help me because I can't hear you. But I want you to know that I love you and I believe in you. And I'll always be thinking of you and hope you remember what I've told you. And always remember that I had one French girl follow me all the way to my ship when I got on the ship in Marseille, France, in southern France, to the gangplank. I thought a lot of her. You know, I would have probably married her, but I wanted to come home. And I couldn't bring her with me. If I'd married her, I'd have to stay over there, you see. That's a funny thing, too. I just happened to think of that. I was going down the road in France there after the war was over, and I hear this dude coming down the road singing Yankee Doodle Dandy. Did you ever hear Yankee Doodle Dandy? That's an old World War I song. This guy was singing that, but he was singing it. Do you ever hear people on TV talk like they talked in the 1920s back in there? Funny, you know. Oh, you dudes, or not dudes, but so forth. And I said, what in the world, where'd you learn that? He was a World War I soldier, he married a French girl and stayed over there, you know. But he talked just like they did in the 20s, you know. And it's odd in a way. That's some of the odd things that happen. But if there's anything you'd like to ask or something, tell him and he can tell me and I'll try to answer. But it's been good being with you. I'm glad that I could be with you and hope you have a good day the rest of the day and keep these things in mind. It'll help you. Thank you. One other thing I wanted to tell you. I forgot this one. After the war was over, you know, France is different from America, especially then when I was there in the 40s. A friend of mine, a boy, he was a Cajun from Louisiana, Buck Buchanan. I've got him in a picture with me there. And we was in Cannes in France. We call it canes, but the French pronounce it con. And that's in the French Riviera. You've heard of that, haven't you? And we went down to the beach there, and we thought, well, we'd like to go swimming, but we got no swimming trunks, you know. So we got to thinking there wasn't too many people there. We thought, we might just go in with our shorts on. Of course, your shorts was olive green. Everything you wore was green, you know. And we thought we might do that. There was about 7 French girls come down to the beach there beside us. They took their clothes off. I mean, all of the clothes. And jumped in the water and swam out to a reef out there. I told him, I said, well, if they can do that, we can sure wear shorts. So we jumped in the water and swam out there too. But they thought that was very funny. They pointing at us, you know, one girl could speak a little English. And she said, why are you wearing them things for? I said, that's all we got to wear. She said, well, you can swim a lot better with them off. So I ain't going to tell you the rest of that. But some of you young dudes, don't be joining the French army now going to the Riviera. Thank you.
You guys have any questions? Tell me.
Did you have to jump the cover whenever you shot the tiger of Panther tank?
Do you remember being shot at by German tanks?
By what?
By German tanks?
Tank?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, I have. And I'll tell you another thing. We was fighting in one town, I think it's Aki. And the Germans had a tank was firing on us, and we didn't have nothing but rifles. They had ordered us to take that town. In my squad, it was a squad of 13 men. We had 3 men left. All the rest of them got killed. And our sergeant told them over the wireless there. He said, I've only got 3 men, and they got a tank. A chaplain had come up. Now, we was always glad to see a chaplain. We never got to see many, but when we did, boy, we got to see them. I took communion once, and one of the guys got wounded. The Germans fired on us now. And sometimes over here, we don't go to church because it's too cold or it's raining. What if you had to go on the battlefield? But anyway, this tank was firing around the building on us. But we got into the building. I'm talking without this. We got into the building and looked down, and there was a tank down there. But we didn't have nothing but rifles. You can't do nothing with a rifle at a tank. But if you can get underneath the tank with something, you can really get it. You can take a bottle of gasoline and throw under a tank and burn it up, because they got that grease and oil, and it's hot under there, and it'll go up in flames. But somebody come up with the idea and said we had some gasoline. We poured out on there. And we had gasoline in those, I guess they're 10-gallon and 5-gallon cans, I can't remember. GI cans, we called them. So we told them, they got us some gasoline, and we took it up on that second floor there, and went to the window, and we got to point it down on the tank. We poured it down on there, and I don't know, 15, 20 cans. And then we took some white phosphorus grenades and threw down on that, and they went off and lit the thing up and burned it up. And we took the town. Yeah, you could take a bottle of gasoline, cork it with some goods or something, light it, pitch it out of a tank, burn it. The Germans had the best tanks in the world. Our tanks was no comparison to theirs. They had the Tiger Royal that our tank could shoot and hit them in front, and it just the bullets would